the Earl of Shining. In the village of Hampton, there was an old soldier named Michael, but he was known to the world as the Earl of Shining. Michael was once an expert archer and a great fighter. In fact, his skills seemed to be hereditary. All the people in his ancestry were famous warriors. However, he was getting old and no longer wished to fight. One day, he was in the forest hunting prey when he saw a beautiful prophet singing a hymn. She said, "Michael, an evil army is involved in a conspiracy to take over Hampton. You're the only one who can defeat them and stop the tyranny. The village needs you." Michael replied, "But I'm too old to fight. I'm not confident that I can do it." The prophet said, "You must try. I will even make a potion to increase your strength." The prophet took out a bottle and a funnel. She poured some vinegar and garlic into the bottle. Next, she added some seasoning and sodium and shook it up. Michael smelled the potion. "Wow, this is fragrant," he said in a sarcastic tone. He inverted the bottle and drank the whole potion. He immediately felt stronger. "I'll try my best," he promised. Michael rode his horse to a hilltop, where he could see the village of Hampton below. He saw the evil tyrant and his men marching in a procession through the town. Michael charged down the hill and into the village. An enemy deputy officer shouted, "He looks as strong as an ox." It was an apt analogy. Michael grabbed the officer and threw him across the street with one arm. The rest of the officers screamed and rode away, and their army followed. The prophet reappeared. Michael said, "It's a good thing you gave me the potion," she replied. "But Michael, the potion was fake. Your strength really came from having confidence." Michael realized he really was still great. He just needed to believe in himself.
The search for lost cities. How do cities get lost? It's hard to imagine today's modern cities being abandoned and becoming lost. How could anyone forget a city as large and as famous as New York, or Paris, or London? The answer, of course, is that cities do not usually just disappear overnight. Often, they decline over many years until the last people leave their homes and the buildings fall into ruins. Some abandoned cities are gradually covered by dust and mud until they are nothing but shapeless mounds. Some are swallowed by jungle, and their once grand buildings are smothered and hidden by plants. Others are pulled down as people remove building materials to construct their own new settlements nearby. Gradually, people forget that there was ever a bustling city in their area, and as the memory fades, the city is lost. How does a city die? There are many possible reasons for the death of a city. For example, some cities grew up beside busy trade routes, but sometimes trade decreased, and then the city declined, too. In other places, changes in the climate affected the life of cities. Perhaps the land around a city became less fertile, so there was not enough food to feed all its inhabitants, and gradually people had to move away. The end of other cities was more sudden and spectacular. Natural disasters such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions wiped out places such as Pompeii. Sometimes, fires burned down whole cities. And sometimes, cities were destroyed on purpose. The magnificent city of Persepolis, the capital of the Persian Empire in the 6th century BC, was burned down by the army of Alexander the Great in 330 BC. Finding lost cities. Although cities may be abandoned for many years, they are not usually truly lost. Often, the local people will know of hidden ruins or mysterious buried walls. It is only when an outsider comes looking for evidence of a forgotten city that anyone realizes what the ruins really are. This was true of Hiram Bingham, who was led to the Inca ruins of Machu Picchu by a local man who knew exactly where they were. In other places, archaeologists have painstakingly put together evidence to work out what a city was once like. Unsolved mysteries. Today, excavating lost towns and cities is the work of highly trained teams of archaeologists. The days of amateur treasure hunters searching ruins for gold and other valuable objects are gone. But amazing finds are being made and new sites are still being uncovered, which all add to our knowledge of the past. Often, a new discovery forces archaeologists and historians to change their ideas about the past. Sometimes something so strange and unusual is found that it creates a whole new mystery. A theory disproved. When a Greek archaeologist, Spiridon Marinatos, began excavations on the island of Thera, Santorini, in 1967, he was hoping to find out the truth about the end of the Minoan civilization. The Minoans lived on Crete, about 62 miles, 100 kilometers south of Thera, until around 1500 BC, when some sort of disaster brought their civilization to an end. Professor Marinatos thought the cause may have been a huge volcanic eruption on Thera that would have sent out clouds of dust and ash and set off huge tidal waves. Professor Marinatos decided to excavate on Thera itself to find out more about the eruption. He dug deep trenches around the village of Akrotiri in the south of the island. Here, he found houses preserved under the ash, just like those at Pompeii. But he found no human skeletons. It seems that the people had time to escape before the worst of the eruption. By working out the age of pieces of pottery and other remains, Professor Marinatos decided that Akrotiri had been abandoned some years before the destruction of Knossos on Crete. This means that the eruption happened before the end of the Minoan civilization. So the destruction of Knossos is still a mystery, to be solved sometime in the future. History beneath the surface. In many modern towns and cities, history lies not very far beneath the surface. Many towns and cities are built on sites that have been inhabited for centuries. Obviously, archaeologists can't excavate easily where there are modern stores, offices, or houses. But if a building is pulled down to make space for redevelopment, it is sometimes possible for the archaeologist to excavate the site first. This is what has been happening in the city of York, in England. Archaeologists have gradually uncovered a Viking city called Jorvik beneath the modern city. Underneath the city center, they have discovered the business center of Jorvik, where craftspeople, such as jewelers and woodworkers, made and sold their goods. From their finds, they have been able to determine what life in the Viking city may have been like. Legendary cities. There are some lost cities that will probably never be found. These are the cities that are described in legends, folktales, and myths. The descriptions may once have been based on real places, but today we do not know where the cities were or even whether they ever really existed. Camelot, the legendary court and capital of King Arthur, is one of these places. Many people think that Cadbury Castle in Somerset, England, is the site of Camelot. Others say that the tale of King Arthur is just a story, and that Camelot was not a real place. The strange tale of Atlantis is a mixture of history and legend. The Greek philosopher Plato, 427–347 BC, wrote about the mysterious story of Atlantis, which is not a lost city, but a whole lost island. The island is supposed to have disappeared under the waves after a volcanic eruption. Many people have tried to prove that the tale of Atlantis is actually the story of the end of the Minoan civilization. Others have suggested that Atlantis lies deep below the waves of the Atlantic Ocean. It is just one of the many mysteries of ancient times that may never be solved.
The kidnapping. Anne was a very quiet girl who had an inherent fear of almost everything. The kids at school would play tricks on her all the time. They would hide behind the door of the school janitor's closet, then jump out to scare her. Once, a boy dressed up like a vampire and chased her down the street. Anne hated being constrained by her fears, but she didn't know how to be brave. She was walking home from school one day when someone came up behind her. Before she could turn around, a powerful man grabbed her. She couldn't scream because a huge hand was put over her mouth. Anne knew that this could not be another stunt by her classmates. The scary man restrained her arms and legs and carried her to his house. He tied Anne to a chair. Her guts began to hurt because she was so scared. The man prodded Anne with his forefinger and said, "You'll stay right here until I get a ransom from your parents. Then I'll be rich." The dirty man spit when he talked. A string of saliva hung from his moist lips. Anne was terrified and intimidated by the horrible man, but she knew she had to escape somehow. Eventually, the man yawned. Anne waited quietly until he fell asleep. As he slept, she carefully wiggled her arms and legs until the ropes became loose. She slipped out of the ropes and carefully opened the door. She sprinted to the bus depot and boarded a bus to the police station. She told the police what happened, and they arrested the kidnapper. The kids at school were amazed. They asked her, "Weren't you too scared to escape?" She said, "Nope. I knew that I had to be brave and get out of there." The kids were very tolerant of Anne from then on. They even decided that they would emulate her bravery if they ever got into a tough situation.